Feeling exceptionally grumpy today and frustrated. I'm frugly. How dare you? Watch out! Got you in the backyard. Don't know why I said that. Look, gotta turn the distortion down so I don't bother the neighbors. Do you have a problem with that? Got you in the backyard. I gotta tell you something about this song, When I Come Around, by Green Day, from the hit album Dookie, which has sold like 12 billion copies. I gotta tell you that they tuned down a half step, but I, Stuart Alexander, Lehman-brown, have refused to do so, so I'm playing it in standard tuning. If you want to play along with the album version of the song, tune down a half step. Here's the shortcut, easy peasy lemon squeezy way to tune down a half step. Put a capo, pretend this is a capo. Put a capo on the first fret of your guitar, then use your clip-on tuner. Pretend this is a clip-on tuner. Put your clip-on tuner right there, and then tune to standard tuning, and then take the capo off, and then you're tuned down one half step, and you can play the hit song When I Come Around by Green Day, featuring Billy Joe Armstrong. This is like a beginner song. It's a pretty easy song, but it's like 92% power chords, and you might not be familiar with power chords yet. So I'll show you what the deal is with power chords. It might be a little bit tricky if that's a brand new concept to you. Let us begin. Please put your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the top string. Please put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string from the top. Please put your pinky on the 5th fret of the 3rd string from the top. That's all. This chord shape right here, these 3 fingers, that's the chord shape we're going to use for most of the song. However, let me give you a few pointers for this power chord configuration. Tip number 1, don't try to use the tip of your pointer finger. Use the pad of your pointer finger like that, and then let the rest of your pointer finger just kind of gently rest on the bottom 5 strings. So we're pushing on the top string, resting on the other one, so then the top string sounds like this. The rest of them are just kind of muted. Great work. With your ring finger and your pinky, you can go ahead and use the tips of those fingers, but here's my tip for those fingers. You want those 2 fingers to like spoon with each other. Like have the nail of your pinky push against the back of your ring finger. So that way, instead of having to control each of those fingers individually, you just mush them together like one big finger. Okay, the last tip I have for you when it comes to playing power chords, it's going to be a little bit easier if your thumb does not come up over the top. Keep your thumb back here, kind of like that, and it's going to be an easier ride. It's going to be smooth sailing, just like Link had in the hit GameCube game Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, featuring a talking boat. The only Zelda game I have ever successfully completed. People of the world, friends and relatives, on this G power chord, that's what this is called, a G power chord, you're gonna go like this. So that was a little down up strum, but we want to palm mute when we go down up. That means that you take this part of your hand, the karate chop part of your hand, and you rest it very gently right here. Now, when you're palm muting and strumming down up, it's not going to be like this super crisp, clear sound. It's going to be kind of a chewy, gumbly sound. Chewy, gumbly sound. That's not a way that people normally would describe guitar chords. One of those descriptive words I made up completely, gumbly. And then chewy is the name of a Wookiee. Surprised you didn't know that. Guys, it's gonna go like this. Now, okay, in the actual song, they have a bunch of distortion, and then you get that really chewy, gumbly sound. I just don't have too much distortion right now so that I don't blow out my neighbor's eardrums, as I said. Both my neighbors are nice. Well, one of my neighbors, the one over there, literally doesn't have a computer or a tablet or a smartphone. She wanted to send a message to the homeowners association, but she was like, I don't have any way to send email, so could you do it for me? It's like, what are you talking about? What actually happens is when you strum down, it's palm muted. And then when you strum up, you can't help it. Your hand kind of comes off a little bit. So the strum up ends up kind of not being palm muted. So it's kind of like that, sort of a little bit. Then you're gonna keep it palm muted, stay on the same chord and strum down, down, and then do one big strum down without palm muting. So that's down, up, down, down, not palm muted. 5, 6, here we go, not, okay, there's one other thing I forgot to tell you. There's a little bit of a pickup. So that means that first little down, up does not happen right on the beat. It happens like right before the beat. So that means instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down, 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 like that, we start our little down, up a little early. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, and 2, and a 1, and 2. Repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, and 2. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, and 2. Now let's play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, and 2. That was great. I think you can do a little better. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and a 1, and 2. Great work. Then we're gonna do our little palm muted down up again, but as you're doing the palm muted down up, you're gonna move to the other chord. So it's literally, truly, as you're strumming down up, you're moving your hand to the next chord, which is going to be a D power chord. Put your pointer finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string from the top, ring finger 7th fret, 3rd string from the top, pinky 7th fret, 3rd string from the bottom. Guys, it's the exact same shape chord. We just moved it 1, 2 frets over, and we moved it 1 string down. Pointer finger is still resting on the bottom few strings. My ring finger and pinky are still spooning with each other like romantic lovers in the dark of night. The only thing that changes is your pointer finger. We now want the tip of your pointer finger to touch the top string and mute it. If your pointer finger refuses to do that, you are also allowed to have your middle finger touch the top string and mute it. What we want to be able to do is strum all the strings and not hear the top string or the bottom 2 strings. I think I'm making myself perfectly clear. Once you've made it to this D power chord, you're gonna do the exact same strumming we did on the G power chord. You're gonna palm mute and go down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. So look, when you put those two together, it goes like this, starting from the G. And a 1, and 2, and a 1, and 2, and a. Try that with me. We're gonna slow it down. We're gonna go pow, and a pow, 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 and a 1, and a 2, and a got you in the backyard. Sorry, the count off didn't work. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 1, 2, down, and a 1, 2, down, and a. Great work. Take this exact same power chord shape. Move it 1, 2 frets over, but stay on the same strings. So now your pointer finger's on 7 of the 2nd string from the top, ring finger's on 9 of the 3rd string from the top, pinky's on 9 of the 3rd string from the bottom. This is an E power chord. But wait, we actually want to make one tiny little adjustment for this chord. Take your middle finger and put it on the 8th fret of the 2nd string from the bottom. We have just transformed this E power chord into an E minor chord. It looks a whole lot like a bar chord, which you may have heard horror stories about, or maybe you wrote some horror stories of your own featuring bar chords. This is not a bar chord. It just looks exactly like a bar chord. You don't have to mash down with your pointer finger, so don't worry. This is a safe space. We're not playing any bar chords in the song. We're not playing any bar chords in this song, is what I meant to say. Guys, for this E minor chord, the strumming is going to change a tiny little bit. So on the E minor, you're going to do one palm muted strum down. Then you're going to do one big not palm muted strum down. And then you just kind of wait for a brief moment. Then you're gonna take this same chord shape. Well, get rid of your middle finger. Get rid of the middle finger, but take the other 3 fingers and move them 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back. So now your pointer finger's on 3 of the 2nd string from the top. Ring finger's on 5 of the 3rd string from the top. Pinky's on 5 of the 3rd string from the bottom, and strum this chord. So without not palm muted, you strum it not palm muted. So that last little bit was dum, bum, bum, like that. It goes whoop, great work. Guys, we are pretty much done with the main riff to the song. Let's go ahead and play everything that we have up until there. So really slowly, it's and a 1, 2 strum, and a 1, 2 strum, and a 1 strum, strum. You ready? A little bit slower than that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2 down, and a 1, 2 down, and a boom, yeah, bah. Great job! One more time. Doing fine, make it mine. My wife tried to tell me I should just take a nap this afternoon, and I went, no, don't be stupid. I have to do something that requires tons of energy. And she was like, okay. Guess who was right? We just strummed this chord. This is a C power chord, by the way. The last chord is a C power chord. We just strummed down on it. You wait for a couple beats, then you're gonna strum down again, and then we start the whole entire riff over again. That is the main riff, and that is the introduction to the song. For the introduction to the song, they play it 3 times in a row. That's Spanish for 3. I'm surprised you didn't know that. It happens once with just guitar, and then twice with the whole band. Let's go ahead and play the whole intro, which means is we're playing the main riff 3 times in a row. Trey, cool! 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, and a 1, and 2, and a 1, and 2, bang, double, Guys, I have great news for you. The great news is that we have completed the introduction to the song. But wait, I have more great news. We've also learned the verse to the song, because the verse to the song is just this exact same riff 8 times in a row. Ocho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The thing about the verse is that that's it, and we're done with it. Moving on to the chorus of the song. The chorus goes like this. 3 and 4 and. Cause you know where I'll be bound when I bound. Guys, the chorus is 2 chords long. First one is an A power chord. Mute the top string with your thumb. Have the 2nd string from the top open, then put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string from the top. And then if you could go ahead and have your pointer finger mash down and also push on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string from the bottom, that would be great. Now, if you're unwilling to do it, you are totally allowed to just use 2 fingers, but it's easier if you use 1 finger. You're gonna strum this A power chord 8 times. Aim for the middle 4 strings when you're strumming, but it's not a big deal. You can just hit all of them. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm strumming down on every single strum. Then we go to a C power chord. That was the last chord of the main riff, where pointer fingers on 3rd fret of the 2nd string from the top, ring fingers on 5 of the next one, pinkies on 5 of the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strums. Then go back to the A power chord, do 8 strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we go back to the C power chord, but only do 5 strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's silence for 2 beats. People of the world, friends and relatives, let's play the entire chorus all the way through. 1, and then I have 2 secrets for you, so stick around for those secrets. 1, 2, secrets after this. No time to sense the world abound, 'cause you know that that's just fine when you step a count. Secret number 1, we're gonna learn the little bass pull off. So this is the bass part just for these 2 notes, but it's like the coolest part of the song, so we have to do it. Look, play for me 3rd fret, 2nd string from the top with your middle finger, but have your pointer finger pushing on the 2nd fret of the same string. You're gonna play that 2nd string from the top, and then you're gonna pull off your middle finger like this. So it goes, watch, look, watch. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Try it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull off. Great work. You don't have to do that. It's the bass part. I would be amiss if I did not tell you of it. Then we get to the interlude of the song. Guys, the interlude is just the intro again. You just play the main riff 2 times in a row. Then we get to the 2nd verse. The 2nd verse is literally exactly the same as the 1st verse. But then after that, we get into the 2nd chorus of the song. The 2nd chorus is literally exactly the same as the 1st chorus. Then we get to what I like to call the guitar solo. The guitar solo goes a little something like this. Put your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings. Mash down on the bottom 2 strings on the 3rd fret with only your pointer finger. Play the bottom string. I think it's easiest if you pluck up. So play the bottom string, then play 2nd string from the bottom, then 3rd string from the bottom. This is where I pluck down. Then play 2nd string from the bottom again. Then with your pinky, play 5 on the bottom string and play the bottom string. So we just went like this. Play those notes with me. 1 and 2, and here we go. Make it count. Did you see what I did there? I just continued the pattern. I did the same picking over again. I just kept my pinky on that 5th fret. Let's go ahead and play that first chunk of the solo. Binky, bonky, 5-y, bonky. 1, 2, got you in the backyard. Great. Then go back to just pointer finger on the 3rd fret and play up on the bottom 2 strings twice. Then play the 3rd string from the bottom. Then put your pinky back on 5. This is terrible. Terrible explanation, terrible person, terrible existence. With your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings, strum up twice. Then play the 3rd string from the bottom, plucking down. Then put your pinky back on 5 and strum up. So that was... Then get rid of your pinky and strum bound, 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 up. That was down, 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 up. So here's what we just did. We went... How you feeling about this? Great. Let's play the solo from the beginning. 2, go with this. Never mind. Let's just keep learning else with the solo. Go back to where you're just pushing on the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings, and then aiming for the bottom 3 strings, strum down, down, up. Then add your pinky back to 5 and strum down, down, up. So that was down, down, up, down, down, up. Then keep your pinky on 5, strum down 1 more time, get rid of your pinky and strum down 1 more time. Look at this. Down, down, up, 5, down, 3. Down, bunka, down, pinky, bing, bong. Here we go. Okay, beginning of the solo. None of us remember any of it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there's a tiny little pause. Then you're gonna play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string from the bottom. I use my middle finger, but it's not a big deal. But use the tippiest tip of your finger. We're gonna strum the bottom 2 strings. We wanna hear that 3 on the 2nd string from the bottom, but we also wanna hear the bottom string open like this. Now that sounds pretty bad, but immediately after you strum it, like basically at the same time you strum it, slide up to the 5th fret. So it goes like that. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So it's slide, strum, strum. Then immediately after that, you're gonna do slide, strum, strum one more time. So it's slide, strum, strum, slide, strum, strum. Then go up to the 12th fret on the top string, play it, and immediately slide down like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bam. When he plays it live, sometimes instead of going, he goes like, what does he do? He goes up to like, he goes up to something else for a second, but it's like the same notes basically. And in the album version, he doesn't do that. So I just can't be bothered. Oh, also there's another thing that he does differently when he plays it live. I'll tell you that at the very end. It's really exciting. You're going to love it. Do you guys believe in leprechauns? I personally do not believe in leprechauns. I think they're fake. And if we're being perfectly honest, I think anyone who believes in them is kidding themselves. Hey, in the comments, do you believe in leprechauns? Stuart thinks you're foolish. No offense. Idiot. What's that sound? That's the whole solo. Let's play it all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the 3rd and final chorus, exactly the same as the other choruses. No time to thank you, I'm bound. Optional. And then you go back to the main riff for the ending of the song, and you play the main riff 4 times in a row, and you end on that final C chord. You go. Let that sustain. So here's the little thing during the main riff that Billy Joe does is pretty cool. When he does it live, he goes. I didn't do a very good job just then. But what he does is when he goes up to the E minor chord, he actually starts with just his pointer finger and not these 3 fingers. And he strums it once like that. And then he does a quick little hammer-on where he takes those 3 fingers and just mashes them down and then strums again. So it's like. It's kind of cool. It's also kind of hard though. I wouldn't worry about it. Just focus on the regular power chords. It's gonna be fine. I'm not just haphazardly saying I don't believe in leprechauns. Like as a child, I spent a lot of time looking for leprechauns. Like I would look for leprechauns on St. Patrick's Day, of course. I would look for them like in the middle of August. I'd be like, today seems like a good day to look for leprechauns. And I never found even the tiniest little shred of evidence that they exist in California. There was one time when I did find these tiny little green footprints, but I don't know, something just seemed off about them. I have not looked for leprechauns as an adult, and my investigation skills are better now than they once were. Look, what I'm trying to say is I'm starting a leprechaun hunting squad, and I need all the help I can get in the comments. Do I got you in the backyard?